Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, where we decode the hidden narratives within corporate filings to bring you the real story. Today we're diving into Onto Innovation Incorporated's latest 8K report, and let's just say it involves some big moves and even bigger numbers before we jump in. If you like getting the inside scoop on corporate finance without the jargon, make sure to subscribe. And for a deeper dive into these topics and to chat with like-minded folks, join our Discord community, linked in the description below. So, Onto Innovation Incorporated, a company we've talked about before, has filed a current report on Form 8. Think of an 8K as a company's way of telling the public about a major event that could be important to investors. And what is the major event here? It is the completion of a pretty significant acquisition. This report tells us that on the 17th of November 2025, Onto Innovation Incorporated officially closed the deal to buy Semilab USA LLC. Now, this wasn't a small casual purchase. This was a significant acquisition that they had been planning for a while, announced back in June and amended in October. What did this acquisition actually entail? Onto Innovation bought all the ownership bits of Semilab USA from its seller. And how did they pay for it? A cool $432,310,000 in cash, plus they handed over 641,771 shares of their own common stock. That is a hefty price tag, and when a company spends this much cash and issues stock, it usually means they believe this acquisition will bring substantial benefits. Now, issuing stock as part of an acquisition is what we call an unregistered sale of equity securities. The report explains this was exempt from registration under a specific part of the Securities Act of 1933. Basically, the seller, Semilab International ZRT, is considered an accredited investor and is buying the stock for investment, not for immediate resale. This is pretty standard when companies are exchanging big chunks of ownership for large sums of money in stock. The core of this filing really boils down to this acquisition. Why does it matter? Well, acquisitions like this are usually done to expand the company's market reach, add new technologies, or gain a competitive edge. For Onto Innovation, which operates in the semiconductor industry, acquiring a company like Semilab USA, which likely deals with semiconductor testing and measurement, could be a strategic move to bolster its offerings and revenue streams. We're talking about adding capabilities and potentially serving more customers in a very dynamic and essential industry. To go along with this big news, Onto Innovation also put out a press release on the same day, the 17th of November 2025. This press release announced the closing of the Semilab USA acquisition and, very importantly, updated their financial guidance for the fourth quarter of fiscal year 2025. This means the company is giving investors an updated peek at how they expect to perform financially in the near future, taking into account the immediate impact of this new acquisition. Updated guidance can be a big deal for investors as it signals whether the company is on track or perhaps facing new challenges or opportunities. Now, let's talk about the why behind all this. The company has included a cautionary statement because when you are talking about future growth, synergies from an acquisition, and market opportunities, you are often venturing into forward-looking statements. These are essentially educated guesses about the future. The company is clearly stating that while they believe in the benefits of this acquisition, there are always risks. They're warning investors that actual results could be different due to unexpected costs, difficulties in integrating the two companies, changes in the market, or even global economic shifts. It is the standard but important disclaimer that tells you even with optimistic projections, things can change. The report also lists the company's common stock with the ticker symbol Onto as being traded on the New York Stock Exchange. This is just basic information about where you can find their shares. Now, let's look at the exhibits. These are the supporting documents. We see references to the original equity purchase agreement from the 27th of June 2025 and the amendment to that agreement from the 9th of October 2025. These are the legal blueprints for the acquisition, detailing all the terms and conditions. And importantly, they've included Exhibit 99.1, which is that press release we just talked about, announcing the deal's closure and the updated financial outlook. So, what does this all mean for Onto Innovation? They've made a massive investment to grow their business. The success of this acquisition will hinge on how well they can integrate Semilab USA into their existing operations, realize those expected synergies, and ultimately drive more revenue and profit. It is a bold move that signals ambition. The market will be watching closely to see if this strategic acquisition pays off, especially with the updated guidance they've provided for the current financial quarter. Looking at this filing from a broader perspective, Onto Innovation is clearly playing the long game in the semiconductor industry. By acquiring Semilab USA, they're not just buying another company, they're buying market share, technology, and potentially a significant boost to their future earnings. However, like any large acquisition, there are inherent risks. The integration process is crucial, and any hiccups there could delay or diminish the anticipated benefits. The semiconductor market is also highly cyclical and competitive. So managing these external factors while integrating a new business will be key. In conclusion, this 8K filing is all about a major growth step for Onto Innovation Inc. They've spent a considerable amount of money and stock to acquire Semilab USA, and they're signaling optimism with updated financial guidance. The real story will unfold as they manage the integration and capitalize on the synergies. Will this acquisition propel them to new heights, or will it introduce unforeseen challenges? Only time and their execution will tell. What are your thoughts on this acquisition and Onto Innovation's strategy? Are they making a smart move, or is the risk too high? Let us know your take in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of corporate finance. And don't forget to join our Discord for more discussions and insights. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.